Assemblymember Dismore did make a very, very good point about the first part of his amendment and changing it to say anti-Semitic rather than anti-Israel. And of course we all do appreciate and your work that you've done with the Jewish community in your constituency for many, many years. So that is a very good point. I totally agree with Assemblymember Bacon upon the second part of the amendment, though, and adding the second larger sentence on which there hasn't been much debate is something that detracts from the purpose of the original motion. It is specifically to deal with this parade and to deal with the flying of these flags. And if you wanted to say something which was a more general point about discrimination, prejudice, hate and hate crime, then I think it would be appropriate to move that as another motion, a different motion. In fact, the word Islamophobia is in there. That wasn't something that you mentioned. That word was actually invented in a report commissioned by Trevor Phillips, which the Runnymede Trust did in 1997. And Trevor Phillips then spoke about this word, Islamophobia, and propagandized it and made it popular. He's now woken up to what he said and the real issues in this country, and he's said now that he regrets almost everything that was said in that report. He says we got almost everything wrong. And there is a real concern about some issues to do with radical Islam, radical Islamism in this country. The word Islamophobia is not something that I would use in the context of this. A phobia is an irrational fear of something, an irrational fear of Islam. Some people do have genuine concerns about some of the writings, Islamic writings, and some people that take those writings to be literally true and applied in all times and all places. Not people who just consider they were for 7th century Arabia, but people who consider some of the aggressive Islamic writings to be applied now in 21st century Britain, France, America, and wherever. So to use the word Islamophobia, which has been popularized by Trevor Phillips, in the context of a motion which is specifically dealing with something which is an anti-Semitic rally, I think does detract from the purpose of this motion and makes it more general and tackles another issue which needs another motion. So I'm in the strange position here of having proposed the motion, of having to abstain on the substantive motion, because I agree with what I've said, I agree with Assemblymember Dismore's first point, but I don't agree with putting the last sentence in the motion here. So that is our position and what we will be doing here. I think I would welcome you who put the motion, putting another one at another time.